The house is quiet in a way that feels deliberate, not peaceful, controlled. Every hallway curves with intention. Every door seems to close a second too slowly. Inside this place lives a man who believes he understands creation better than nature itself. Godwin Baxter does not introduce himself as a father, or a savior, or a scientist. He simply exists guard, methodical, watchful. His body carries evidence of past experiments, not all of them successful. His voice is gentle, but never warm. He does not raise his voice. He does not need to. And then there is Bella. She moves like someone unfamiliar with gravity. Her steps are uncertain, her posture untrained, her expressions unfiltered. She laughs too loudly. She stares too long. She speaks without polish, without fear, without shame. Her words arrive bluntly, often inappropriate, sometimes profound, though she does not yet know the difference. Bella is not ignorant. She is unformed. She touches objects as if they are ideas. She tastes food as if it might explain something. She asks questions that make people uncomfortable, not because they are difficult, but because they are honest. The kind of honesty adults learn to bury. Godwin watches her constantly, not with affection, with assessment. To him, Bella is a miracle carefully contained, a success story that must not wander too far from its margins. He has rules for her. Schedules, boundaries disguised as care. He explains the world to her in fragments, as though full knowledge might damage the experiment. And Bella accepts this at first, because she does not yet know what acceptance costs. There are others in the house. Assistants, students, observers who orbit Bella like cautious moons. One of them, Max, looks at her differently. He is awkward, nervous, sincere in a way that feels almost out of place here. He does not study Bella. He listens, and Bella notices, not because she understands romance, or desire, or social ritual, but because she recognizes attention without control. It feels new. It feels interesting. The world inside the house is ordered, predictable. Godwin's rules create safety, but also silence. Bella senses it before she can name it. Something about this place is too still. Outside, the city breathes. Carriages pass, voices overlap. People argue, flirt, rush, collide. Bella watches from windows, like someone observing a language she hasn't learned yet but desperately wants to speak. Godwin warns her. The world, he says, is cruel. Men are selfish. Society is violent. Freedom is dangerous for someone like her. Someone like her. Bella doesn't challenge him. She stores the words away. She is learning constantly, absorbing not just facts, but tones, pauses, contradictions. She notices how Godwin's warnings always arrive wrapped in authority, how fear is used as a form of protection. Then Duncan Wedderburn arrives. He does not enter quietly. He announces himself with confidence, sharpened by vanity. His posture suggests entitlement. His smile suggests appetite. He is immediately intrigued by Bella, not as a person, but as an experience. Duncan sees Bella the way some men see the world. Something to be tasted, conquered, narrated later as proof of their own depth. And Bella sees Duncan as something else entirely. Movement, he speaks of travel, of pleasure, of cities that never sleep. He mocks restraint. He flatters recklessly. He offers Bella a version of adulthood that feels intoxicating, not because it is wise, but because it is unguarded. Godwin disapproves instantly, not loudly, not directly. His disapproval manifests as tightening control, sharper instructions, firmer rules, a reminder of who built whom. Bella feels the pressure change. For the first time, she pushes back not with rebellion, but with curiosity. She asks why she cannot go, why the world is allowed to exist without her in it, why experience must be delayed indefinitely. Godwin answers clinically. Safety, stability, readiness. But Bella hears something else beneath the words. Fear. Not fear for her. Fear of losing authorship. Duncan offers escape, in a way that feels spontaneous, even romantic. He frames it as adventure, as growth, as indulgence. He does not mention consequences. He does not need to. Bella agrees without hesitation, not because she trusts him, but because she trusts herself. When she leaves the house, the air feels different, thicker, alive. She walks faster. Her body begins to adapt. Her voice changes. Her thoughts accelerate. Every new place, every unfamiliar interaction stretches her understanding of herself. She learns quickly about hunger, about desire, about power dynamics disguised as affection. Duncan speaks endlessly, performing intellect, performing freedom. He explains the world to her as though she were a blank page he has been invited to write on. At first, Bella listens. Then she starts to notice the gaps. Duncan's generosity is conditional. His charm dissolves when challenged. His openness has borders ones he enforces with irritation, jealousy, subtle cruelty. He enjoys Bella's innocence only as long as it flatters him. Bella does not confront him. She observes. She begins to understand something fundamental. The world is not divided into good people and bad people, but into those who allow growth and those who fear it. Her experiences accumulate rapidly. Pleasure does not arrive with the transcendence she expected. Pain does not destroy her. Instead, both sharpen her awareness. She feels more, thinks more, questions more. And the more she grows, the less Duncan understands her. His authority weakens. His patience erodes. He becomes smaller, louder, more desperate to be admired. Bella becomes quieter, not submissive-focused. She realizes that freedom offered by men often comes pre-packaged with expectation. That liberation framed by someone else's fantasy is just another form of confinement. When she finally leaves Duncan, it is not dramatic. It is inevitable. Bella continues on alone. The world does not soften for her. If anything, it grows harsher. She encounters exploitation without disguise. Institutions that profit from vulnerability. Moral systems that preach virtue while practicing cruelty. And yet she does not retreat. Each encounter adds texture to her understanding. She begins to choose. Not impulsively, intentionally. She starts defining pleasure on her own terms. Purpose on her own scale. The voice inside her, once scattered, reactive, begins to align. But growth has consequences. The farther Bella moves from the life designed for her, the more the past pulls back. Godwin's influence lingers, his expectations, and somewhere behind her, unfinished business waits questions about ownership, identity, and the price of autonomy. Bella is no longer the person who left that house, but she is not yet free of it. And as she turns toward the final phase of her becoming, the world prepares to remind her that transformation rarely goes unchallenged. Bella returns not as a prodigal daughter, nor as a failed experiment, but as a woman carrying the weight of her own authorship. The house looks smaller now. The corridors narrower. The silence thinner. What once felt like a sanctuary reveals itself as something closer to a laboratory preserved for nostalgia's sake. Godwin watches her the way one watches an outcome they did not predict. She speaks differently. Not louder, not softer. Just precisely. Each word chosen, not spilled. Her body no longer apologizes for occupying space. She meets his gaze without defiance, without submission. With clarity, Godwin struggles to reconcile what he sees with what he believes he created. He asks questions disguised as concern. He tests boundaries under the pretense of care. His authority, once unquestioned, now feels ceremonial, fragile. Bella understands this instantly. Power, she has learned, survives longest when it pretends to be benevolent. The truth of her origin no longer horrifies her. It informs her. She does not recoil from the unnaturalness of her beginning. Instead, she interrogates it. If life can be assembled, rewritten, repurposed, then meaning is not inherited. It is chosen. And choice, she now knows, is terrifying to those who profit from obedience. The world outside has left its imprint on her. She has seen how systems dress exploitation as order, how morality is enforced selectively, how men who speak of progress panic when women stop performing gratitude. She has also seen herself raw, curious, flawed survive every stage of growth. That survival reshapes her ambition. Bella does not seek revenge. She seeks alignment. She returns to knowledge, not as a subject, but as a participant. She studies medicine with urgency, not to mimic Godwin, but to surpass the limitations of his gaze, where he dissected life to understand it. She approaches it to preserve autonomy. Healing becomes her language, not the sentimental kind, the practical kind, the kind that respects consent, the kind that recognizes pain without romanticizing it. Max re-enters her orbit not as a savior, not as a reward but as a possibility. He has grown too, in quieter ways. He no longer waits to be chosen. He offers companionship without ownership, affection without agenda. Bella notices the difference. She chooses him not because he is safe but because he is equal. Meanwhile, the world does not absolve her. So is Ellie. Institutions that once dismissed her now seek to contain her. Authority resents unpredictability. Independence invites correction. Bella faces consequences, not for wrongdoing, but for refusing to remain legible. She remains steady. Her compassion deepens, but sharpens. She helps without shrinking. She listens without yielding authorship of her own life. She rejects the false choice between intellect and desire, between softness and strength. She embodies contradiction, and that, perhaps, is the final provocation. Godwin fades not into villainy, but into obsolescence. His legacy survives, but no longer defines the future. The experiment outgrew the experimenter. Creation exceeded intention. Bella does not erase him. She outlives him. In the end, her life does not resolve into moral simplicity. There is no punishment neatly assigned, no virtue crowned. Instead, there is continuity. Work. Choice repeated daily. Freedom maintained, not claimed. Once and forever. She walks forward, carrying the knowledge of where she began, the authority of where she stands now. Not perfect, not finished, but unmistakably her own. And perhaps that is the most unsettling truth of all. That once a woman learns she can define herself, the world must either change or watch her do it anyway.